Hello everyone. In this lecture, we will try to understand the concept of mean profit in the Code of Civil Procedure 1908. So the S will be silent here while pronouncing this term mean profit. Very important concept which is getting covered by section 2 subsection 12 of the Code of Civil Procedure, which says mean profits of property means those profits which the person in wrongful possession of such property actually received or might with ordinary diligence have received therefrom together with interest on such profits, but shall not include profits due to improvements made by the person in wrongful possession. So, mean profits of the property. Let's say there is a land. To understand it, let us cite one example. Let's say there is a land. This land actually belongs to Mr. A, who is also the true owner of the land. Suppose B has wrongfully possessed the land. B has wrongful possession of the land. Who is B here? Person in wrongful possession. B here is the person in wrongful possession. So A here is the actual owner or the true owner, and B is the person in wrongful possession. So A here will file a civil case. Civil case because we are dealing with Code of Civil Procedure, CPC. So A here will file a civil case against whom? Against B, to recover the possession of land from B, and at the same time A can file the civil case for mean profit also. A can also file the civil case for mean profits also. Now, it is important here to understand that what do we actually mean by mean profit? Here, the duration of possession, the duration of wrongful possession by B is important. For how long the land is under the possession of B? Let's say the duration of possession by B, it was, let's say, the period was 6 months. So, when the possession of the land was under B wrongfully, it was a wrongful possession, we have to keep this in our mind. Who had the actual right to possess the land during that 6 months duration? Obviously, A had the right to possess because A is the true owner. But B did what? B wrongfully possessed the land from A. Let's say, suppose, after that B gave this land to C in rent, okay? To whom it was given in rent? To C. To C it was given. By whom? By B. So, suppose after that B gave this land to whom? B gave this land to C on rent. To whom it was given? In rent? To C. By whom? By B. So, in how much amount? Let's say in rupees 10,000 per month rent. Okay, this is the rent amount, 10,000 per month. If B could with due diligence give the property in rent to C, B could take 20,000 rupees easily every month as the amount of rent of the property from C for 6 months duration. But B intentionally, or let's say negligently, how much he earned? Only 60,000 rupees during 6 months duration. Suppose A tells this thing before the court, okay, that if the property was in his possession, as A is the true owner, A could earn 20,000 rupees as rent amount every month, okay. Now suppose A proved this thing before the court. A proved this thing before the court. Let's say. So here the profit of the land, which is 20,000 rupees per month, in total which will be 1,20,000 rupees. 1,20,000 rupees in the 6 months duration. It will be called as mean profit and can be claimed by whom? And can be claimed by A, who is the true owner. And who will claim the mean profit? The true owner will claim it, that is A. And upon whom it can be claimed? Upon whom it can be claimed? It can be claimed upon that person who is in wrongful possession, that is B here in this example. Now let me cite another example here. So this is related to trespasser case. Okay, let's say X is a trespasser on the land of Y. Now what happened here is that Y has been deprived of possession. Y has been deprived of possession of his land wrongfully by whom? By X. Now Y is not only entitled to recover possession of the land, he is entitled not only to recover the possession of the land, but also damages for wrongful possession by X. So Y shall be awarded mean profits by way of compensation for the period he was ousted from possession if his suit is decreed. Now here X is liable to account for the profits. X is liable to account for the profits which he made and which he would have made with ordinary diligence from the land. However, X is not liable, X will not be liable for profits derived by him due to, let's say, improvements made by him on the land. Okay, so if we go through the definition given in section 2, subsection 12, there is one or. We will try to understand this. Okay, this or. You can go through this definition for a while. Mean profits of the property means those profits which the person in wrongful possession of such property actually received or might with ordinary diligence have received therefrom. So see, two types of profits we are discussing here. Two types of profits. So there is one formula of mean profit. Okay, so two types of profit are there. The first one is this actual profit, and the second one is profit might with ordinary diligence have received. So we may ask this question: what do we mean by this ordinary diligence? Ordinary diligence means we can say the degree of care. The degree of care every prudent, every sound-minded person can take. Okay. Now to simplify this definition given in this section 2, subsection 12, mean profit is that profit, we can say, where a person wrongfully possesses upon an immovable property, and after receiving the profit from it, or it may be like this, that let's say the wrongful possessor is not receiving the profit at all from the wrongful possession, but he could receive such profit from the wrongful possession if he could give let's say little bit of effort with due diligence. Okay, so this thing, it will be attached, this mean profit will be attached with the interest also. And if the wrongful possessor makes let's say some sort of improvement in the wrongfully possessed property, if he is receiving the profit out of that sort of improvement, then this type of profit by the wrongful possessor will not be included. Okay, as per the definition, these improvements will not be included. For example, let's say if you are having suppose if you are having a land, some other person suppose has wrongfully possessed your land. Now let's say that person did not use the land at all. for anything. Suppose he used to keep his car there only and nothing else. Now when you filed a suit against that wrongful possessor, let's say to throw that person out of your land, you said before the court that you want the mean profit. You also want the mean profit from that land while it was under the wrongful possession of that person. Because if he was not there, if he did not wrongfully possess your land, you could cultivate, let's say, paddy there, or you could cultivate other crops also, which would give you could give you high profit. But due to the wrongful possession done by that person, you were unable to cultivate there and earn profit from that land. Though that wrongful possessor did not do anything in your land, even he did not receive profit, but during the duration of the wrongful possession, you could cultivate and earn profit from that land because you are the true owner of it. Okay, so in this way we can cite another example here of trespasser who, let's say, entered into your property, or maybe your tenant, let's say, you have given the property on lease. The duration of the lease is also over. You have also, let's say, served the notice to the tenant. Then also the tenant is not leaving your property. After the completion of the lease duration, okay, this will be regarded as what? As a wrongful possession. Now, if any profit that person is receiving from your land, it will be regarded as mean profit. Or let's say if that person is not receiving any profit, but you have claimed before the court that if that wrongful possessor would left your property in time, you could give it for rent. You could give it for rent to someone else for earning profit. So here, considering all these facts, the court will decide the mean profit. So now the question is, what is the objective of mean profit? It means if any immovable property, always try to remember this. Always remember it should be immovable property. If you are entitled to any immovable property, then if someone wrongfully possesses your property, then mean profit is some sort of compensation you are entitled to receive, because the other person has wrongfully possessed your property, and while the decision has been given by the court against that party, from that wrongful possessor, this mean profit can be demanded before the court. Then, seeing the profits gained from that property due to the wrongful possession, the court will give the decree that such amount of mean profit to be given to the plaintiff. Now, in what cases? Now the question is, in what cases the mean profit is applicable, or in what cases this mean profit can be claimed by the plaintiff, by the aggrieved party. Like in rent property cases. Okay, rent property cases, the property has been given on lease. The duration of lease is also over, and you have also served the notice. Then also the other party is not leaving your property. And in mortgage cases also it is applicable. It is applicable in, let's say, in redemption cases, this foreclosure cases. So in such cases also you can claim for mean profit. Or cases like the trespassers cases, that the example that I've cited now. A trespasser entered your property forcefully. You have been dispossessed from your property either by one person or by several persons. Here also the mean profit can be claimed. Here, against all of them, the mean profit can be claimed. Like suppose there were 5 people who have dispossessed you from your property. You can claim mean profit against all the 5 persons. Okay, dispossessed means to deprive someone of land, property, etc. So even if the other persons are not present during the incident, only, let's say, only one person was present while dispossessing you from your property forcefully. Like, let's say, out of 5, only one was present during your this forceful dispossession from your property, but other 4 persons were indirectly connected. Then also you can claim mean profit from all of them, because they all are connected in this regard. It was pre-planned by them. Okay, so section 2 subsection 12 is also saying the interest will also be added here. So here it is the discretion of the court. We have to keep this in our mind. That is mean profit plus the interest. But that interest should not exceed 6% per annum. Okay. The court can also do some sort of deduction here, like if you have a building, if anybody wrongfully possesses your property, you have now claimed the claim of mean profit for passing the decree for mean profit, but that person who wrongfully possessed your building was giving your house tax, water tax, etc. So all these things will be deducted while considering the mean profit by the court. So the true measure of mean profit, we can say, is not what the plaintiff has lost, but what the defendant has gained by his wrongful possession, or what he might reasonably have gained by such possession. Thus, we can say, if the person charged has let the land to another, the rent which he has actually received would be the measure of profits for which he would be liable, unless it is proved a higher rent could have been obtained with due diligence. So there is one case law, Gray versus Bagumian, AIR 1930. When the person, it stated, when the person in wrongful possession planted indigo on the land, and it was proved that a prudent agriculturist would have grown sugarcane, wheat, or tobacco in such land, the Privy Council held that mean profits should be ascertained on the basis of these more profitable crops. So it's a Privy Council decision before independence, 1930. And mean profit are in the nature of damages. We have to keep this in our mind, that mean profits are in the nature of damages, and therefore the right to sue for mean profits is actually a right to sue for damages, for claiming the compensation. Therefore, such a right cannot be attached and sold in execution of a decree against the person who is entitled to such right. And there is another case law, Lucy Kochuvarid versus P. Mariappa Gounder, AIR 1979, SC 1214. The Supreme Court in this case has held that possession through another person, such as a tenant, may be sufficient to create liability for mean profits if such possession is unlawful in nature. Thank you.